been a long time in the planning stage and started pre-Christmas last year, probably back to October last year, when we knew that Genesis were going to tour this summer in Britain, and various promoters were then you caught up in the rat race of bidding and putting your suggestions forward. And I went out actually to see Genesis to Chicago in October last year. Met with Tony Smith, their manager. I'd already talked to their agent here, put my suggestions and made a pitch for Leeds, and that was really the start of it.
Normally it takes 4 days to construct the stage. Kennedy Street organization has been working on the site preparation for about 3 weeks now. Because basically when you come to Roundhay Park, you get a park. That's it. Nothing, not even a light bulb. It's 8 tractor trailers worth of scaffolding and aluminum, 1 trailer of wood, 16 tractor trailers worth of sound, lights, video, band equipment. It's a rather large production, probably one of the more massive productions ever to tour Europe. We started in September and been throughout North America and Canada, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, back to the US for 7 shows in 5 cities in 10 days in the middle of the European tour with a day off between New York and Paris. So it's been fun. We'll leave it at that.
We check every instrument one time during the course of it, and then they do bits of 3 songs just to make sure that
Just as we know, how much sound are they pushing out there?
Oh, I don't know, there's about 200,000 watts up there and about another 60 or 70 back to the delay, which is only for the show.
Has it been a good tour for you?
Yeah, it's been a good tour. This particular portion has been very physically difficult.
Because of this British weather we keep throwing at you.
We've had rain every day bar 2 in the last 2 months. Unbelievable.
What are you going to do when it's all over?
Sleep for about a month, I think.
Exciting to sort of think that 80,000 people are going to be there tonight. You know, I mean, I know we haven't played England for a long time.
Remember Leeds, the Leeds City Hall?
Yeah, I think it's sort of more realistic to you. When you're playing England, it's kind of like it's a real place. It actually exists. You know, somehow when you're playing sort of Chicago, it's kind of unreal in a way.
America has been our country this year. It's definitely been great for us, and we've had 5 top 5 singles, and the album's still in the charts a year later, and we played a lot of shows there, culminating in a week of stadium shows to as many people as tonight almost. And so that was probably a highlight.
Doors open, please.
actually, yes, the outdoor shows are different, but there's two sorts of outdoor shows. One which are actually in venues, in stadiums, in a sense, which in one way is easier for the crowd because they're seated, and the other is this sort of place where it's just an open space. The problem you get sometimes is that because there's no barriers or seat rows, people push the front of it too much. But this has the advantage of being actually an actual amphitheatre, so hopefully it does make it a little bit easier.
Where have you come from?
Newport Pack, North Milton, Birmingham, yeah.
So you travelled halfway up the country to see him?
Yeah, we've slept overnight in a Capri, 4 hours in a Capri.
There's a lot of talk of a Genesis magic. All the people here talk about that. What is it? What is that magic?
It's their music is so different, I believe.
The fact that it's lasted so long as well.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
The sound that they make, it's soft, it's fast, it's hard, it's rock and roll, it's rhythm, it's beat, the lads are there. When you've got 3 stars like they are, you've got music.
I think we've cracked how to, hopefully we've cracked how to communicate with that many people. The first couple of times you did it, like a festival in the old days, you used to sort of do lots of clubs, lots of colleges, and then suddenly the Reading Festival, you know, which is like 25, 50,000 people or whatever. And sometimes I think the communication was, you didn't know how to communicate because you're used to dealing with people in a small venue. But these big venues we've sort of done a lot of now, and I think that it feels intimate to us. It's weird, I mean, it's all staged, you know, it's all gradual, I suppose, but if you get 60,000 people in one place, it can feel intimate. I know it sounds strange unless you witness it.
It's really, I think, it's the music we've written and recorded that people have liked and has become important to them. And they hear us playing, hopefully, good live versions. And that's where the
once people have come to a gig, they want to enjoy it. I mean, I've been to see lots of shows by other people and things, and I always feel that the crowd that's there tend to always enjoy it because they've come there, they're going to try and enjoy it, whatever. And the group has to play, I think, very badly for it not to go down well. But hopefully, with this sort of thing, certainly you get a large enough amount of people who really want to see you, and they create their own atmosphere as well.
Today, Roundhay Park was virtually empty. It was a full 8 hours before Genesis were due on stage, but the band was already busy checking its equipment. In 2 hours' time, more than 80,000 people were due to arrive, but for the moment there was only a small audience of lucky security men and slightly bemused policemen. Sound check over, the band left the park to prepare for the show. Already thousands had gathered outside, and within seconds of the gates opening, the big rush was on for the best view at the front. Outside, even the early arrivals were facing huge queues. Police kept a watchful eye at the entrances to the specially erected steel-reinforced walls. On the other side, security men kept watch for forged tickets, as well as bottles and cans of drink, which weren't allowed in. Once inside, the problem wasn't so much in finding a good position, it was more a question of just staying upright. Mud, mud and more mud was everywhere, and occasional rain showers later on didn't help, but nobody really minded. 130 St John ambulance personnel were on hand to help in any emergencies, and more than 150 West Yorkshire police officers mingled with the good-natured and ever-increasing crowd. It was about to be the scene of the biggest concert in the north for years, and during the long wait, the caterers, some of them exotic, were doing brisk business. Meanwhile, the stars of the show, Genesis themselves, were looking forward to playing at Roundhay.
Playing these places that are just parks as opposed to stadiums is a little tricky, because a lot of people are going to sort of be doing that to see you as opposed to having banked seats. Although this is better than most because it has its own natural bank. So, sound-wise, we sound good outdoors. I mean, the PA we've got has been, you know, quite well received outdoors. People say the sound is very good. So, hopefully we've got 2 good screens each side of the stage, so people that are far away can see what we're doing.
The band were in Leeds on the final leg of a 10-month world tour.
It's been good, actually. I think, I mean, I'm pleased with the fact that we're coming up to 112 shows. And I think we're playing well. I mean, you'd imagine that towards the end you start to fray a little bit. There's been some little ups and downs in a sense, and which you need almost. You know, you start to get a little bit complacent, and then you pick yourself up again. But it's been good fun. Yeah.
But what about future Genesis recording plans?
I know nothing. We haven't written anything. I mean, we didn't even write anything for this Genesis album until we actually met in the studio to write the album, which is how we've done the last couple of albums, with nothing prepared beforehand. Come in and we improvise for 2 or 3 months. And at the end of that time, we've got a record, you know. And so that's hopefully how we'll do it next time. But I wouldn't see us beginning that until at least the end of next year, and probably later. I mean, I really don't know. We kind of never really looked very far ahead.
By now, the crowd had grown to its full, huge size, with between 10 to 20,000 people still outside. As Paul Young helped beat the rain showers by warming up the audience, some running repairs were needed for the spectacular lighting system. Meanwhile, the police kept a closed-circuit eye on things from their hilltop control room. The man in charge was delighted that, by the end of the day, there were only 24 arrests out of 80,000 people.
It's a big operation, but we've held previous events of this kind here at Roundhay Park, and I think we want more. It's a good thing to attract these sort of events to the city of Leeds, I find.
And the mood of the crowd is, generally speaking, a happy one?
Excellent. They've come here to enjoy the music, and it's our job to make sure they do.
Back on the boundary, security guards did have to deal with a few fights and up to 1,000 attempted break-ins, but without serious trouble. More than 500 injuries were dealt with, including several broken legs from the mud. Meanwhile, back at the ladies, chivalry wasn't dead. After all the waiting, Genesis finally appeared.
Oh, I just Shame.